Awesome. Welcome back to another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I am your host, Cody Kelly. Look, connect with me on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, maybe not LinkedIn, but everywhere, man. Subscribe to the YouTube page at the link below. YouTube at CV Space K. I have an amazing episode. My friend, my homie, my brother. I got the rapper Shaffer Jones. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here.
Good to have you. Look, before we get into it, I want to feature your music. I want to get the audience involved. I want them to hear this hot stuff. So let me just share my screen. And, I'm getting kind of good at this now. I've been doing this a lot lately. So let's see what happens.
Booyah. That looks
Here we go.
Had to get my skills and my deal and my personal appeal, right? I was never in it for the thrills, motherfucker, this is real life. All I really needed was a team that believed in the dream life. I just gotta know how it feels, if it feels what it feels like to be wealthy.
Yeah.
Young and healthy. Can you tell me about this crazy jungle that I come from? Had to get my skills and my deal and my personal appeal, right? I was never in it for the thrills, motherfucker, this is real life. All I really needed was a team that believed in the dream life. I just gotta know how it feels, if it feels what it feels like to be wealthy, young and healthy. Can you tell me about this crazy jungle that I come from? They like, man, Shay, we ain't see this coming. But either them people coming or the reaper coming. Where I'm from, it's like it ain't enough to eat or something. So I'm up to change the weather or the scene or something. Got no choice but to rejoice. Voice my voice and keep my poise. Ignore the noise and stay the course. Try not to force a thing. Let everything that's supposed to happen organically to be destroyed. No, that's null and void. In reality, checks don't bounce. What's in your account almost don't count. Just a diamond in the rough that's about to be found. Rest in peace, money please. They heard he died for his crown. Wow. Had to get my skills and my deal and my personal appeal, right? I was never in it for the thrills, motherfucker, this is real.
That is amazing. What would we say? Super hot fire, right? Let me ask you a question. What was the inspiration behind this? Like Ascension, right? Like, and listening to the lyrics, you can really get a feel for, I think, the drive. I think for all of us to aspire for more, right? So is that the driving energy behind this?
For the most part. Yep, for the most part. Just being who we are, where we come from, a lot of people, we just come from, just a low community, if you will, whether it be poverty, violence, just a lot of low frequency vibrations. And I was just thinking of a way to leave that place. And I thought of the word ascend. You know what I'm saying? And when you ascend, you go higher. And that was the whole thing, like putting something out there where people can groove to it, but also get a message to kind of never mind what's around you, if you will, and kind of just like rise above the madness. You know what I'm saying? So, chase your dreams. I also mentioned I just got to know how it feels, if it feels, what it feels like to be wealthy. I didn't say rich, and then I followed that up with young and healthy, because health is wealth. I mean, I think it's cool to, survive, but if your health is not, and you know a lot about.
Yeah. I think we're experiencing some difficulties. Uh, Shaffer, you with me? You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So what it seems like inspiration can only be birthed out of pain.
Hmm.
Um, I think there's a common theme with all music, gospel, hip hop, whatever the genre is, that illumination or hope is really a byproduct of despair, if you will, right? So how has that influenced your music? You're a Chicago native. You've seen the best of the city. You've seen the worst of the city, right? How has that been an influence? Because you have a song called Chicago 2 a.m. that I was listening to. So how has that really inspired your music?
It has inspired my music, to answer your question. It's That's a wonderful question, because I think, that's
I think we're experiencing some difficulty.
on Cody.
You
Anytime,
good?
every time you call me, it just pops right back.
Sometimes it's like that, man. And look, I've had plenty of meetings where it seems like things just don't work.
Yeah. Um, but to get back to your question, if I remember correctly, I think I don't think pain is the only way to get inspiration, but I think, when you're hurt, or when you're going through something, for the most part, you got a lot of feelings, right? Because you're feeling, you know what I'm saying? And then when I'm in a creative space, those feelings become thoughts. Okay, how can I express this? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the driving force behind the my music is, how can I put out something that's true to me, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, and relatable, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I make it resonate? And I think a good way to, kind of stay on that path is just to write life. You know what I'm saying? Just your everyday life. And what I found out through the artistry is, when you make a song, oh, people it's- we all go through a lot of the same experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, they feel different to us because we are different people, but a lot of the experiences that we have, all of us has gone through it, because we are here, living this life until, God calls us home.
Mhm.
So, I think that's kind of how, um just both ends of the spectrum has affected me and my artistry.
Cool, I love it. Tell me about the brand. So never mind, right? I see you sporting it. I see the sweatpants. I see you on IG all the time. Where does the idea? Why the phrase "never mind"? Right? Like, what is that stemming from?
Never mind came from, just some more motivation, going outside and seeing, our privatized neighborhoods, and just if you want to ascend, you're gonna have to never mind everything you see. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to use your imagination, kind of like we did when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? I think life robs us. Well, adult life robs us of, being that kid and being able to think, um, outside the box. When you just around that everyday mundane life, it's kind of draining, right? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I feel like, in order to, elevate or ascend, you kind of got to never mind some things. You know what I'm saying? That it also came from, once you do, ascend, everybody's not gonna want to see you happy.
Hmm.
Everybody's not gonna, even though they say, yeah, 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 we all know how that goes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Smile in your face. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's kind of one of
Yeah.
those things. And you kind of got to never mind that too. You know what I'm saying? And I say in the song, I'll get to the story of how this came about, but I actually had a song called Nevermind. And in that song, I say, sometimes you got to keep the good news to yourself, and I think, on so many levels, that just resonates with me because I've had many ideas that I wanted to do, and I would tell somebody, and since they couldn't do it or couldn't see it, they would say, "Oh man, you can't do that," or
Mm-hmm.
such and such, such. So it's kind of one of those things. And also, sometimes I will have these ideas and I'll be working on and I got good traction. And the minute I tell somebody, it just falls through. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I learned that, like, you know what, keep it to yourself until you've done it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concept behind Nevermind. Um, but it was actually a song, and I just saw um an opportunity to sell merch to the people who really enjoyed the song, right? You know what I'm saying? I just this was 2 years ago. I didn't know anything about apparel. I just invested in what I needed to press up stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, "You man, you crazy, you gonna spend your money on this?" But I saw the vision, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it started off as, just a couple shirts. It's 2 years ago. I probably sold like 10 shirts. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot, but it was something. But it just turned into this thing. People started seeing other people in it, and then they like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to do that. Hold on for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that, and people just started buying it like crazy, and then it just morphed into this thing. You know what I'm saying? To where people are like, hey man, you gonna have crew necks, you gonna have sweaters, you gonna have jogging fits, you gonna have this, you gonna have that. So the people kind of, just kind of blew it up, and it's blowing it up and making it what it is. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, and I'm loving it, man, because it's a new thing for me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I got the music, but the apparel is another way to reintroduce myself to people who wouldn't necessarily gel with my music, but
Gotcha.
they say, you know what? He got some dope stuff, so I'll support
Yeah.
him in this way. And then
Yeah.
if they keep up, they might find some music that they like. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like killing two birds with one stone, and it's been very well because since COVID, I just been grinding. No job, no nothing, just took all my little money that I had saved up and just threw it on into there, and God's been ceasing to amaze me, bro. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Ceasing to amaze me.
It seems like there's parallel. Yeah, because I was looking at, first of all, with Nevermind, I was like, this almost has like a rock effect, like that V, and extended, like it's definitely crossover. But it seems like there's a certain trend with Chicago artists, like a deeper level of consciousness, right? Like everybody, New York has this sound, right? Like
Mhm.
I don't know anymore what that sound is. I'm not dissing New York, but you know what I'm saying? Like for a long
Right,
time,
right.
it was 50, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
All of them on the thing. I mean, obviously Jay-Z. Jay-Z's like the sound of hip hop, so I can't count him as just singularly New York. But the
Gotcha.
South, they have their sound, right? The West Coast, they have their sound. But Chicago has this like awakening, right? Whether it's Ye, if it's Chance, if it's you, it's like whoever comes out of this city,
Mhm.
uh, even Vic Mensa, right? Like there's just
Yeah.
there's a spirituality to it. Why do you think that is?
Um, that's a good question, Cody. I'm gonna have to say we're from Chicago. Um, that says a whole lot right there. Most of everybody you named, um, if I don't know them personally, I know them enough to say, they kind of grew up Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that that foundation and actually knowing, you know, the the ideal of God and Jesus and stuff like that. Like we have that spiritual thing within us. You know what I'm saying? Like from jump foundation. I think all of us was raised in the church, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's just translating into the music, you know what I'm saying? Even though you go out here with your breastplate of righteousness on and your shield of faith, you go out here and you get those things, you get some chinks in your armor, but your foundation is, what? The world is being the world right now. I'm gonna go pray and talk to God. And I think that's just one of those things that just translates into our music. You know what I'm saying? And Chicago is a very peculiar city because it's an energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, oh, it's a city and boom, boom. Like when you get in Chicago, you feel Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Just like LA, the vibes in LA are just like, I just want to lay out and just have a cocktail or, I think Chicago's energy is a tad bit different than that, but the energy is there nonetheless.
Cool. What is next? Right. So you dropped the album. You've been putting out a lot of merch. I think the album came out 2018. So for 2020 hitting into 21, what is next for you?
Next for me? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I definitely want to get the whole world in some Shaffer Jones apparel. So I'm gonna keep pushing on that. I got a few singles that I'm gonna drop fourth quarter of 2020. And then I'm gonna hit with an album sometime in 2021. So that's that. As far as like music and apparel, what I've been going, I'm gonna just keep going super hard on that. But I've been doing things like I'm a part of a logistics company. I'm part owner with two other people, and the plan is to um partner up with Amazon as a delivery service partner. So Amazon is getting so big, they're basically allowing people to do a franchise, if you will.
Oh, wow.
So you come with a certain amount of money and you get some trucks sponsored by them and stuff like that. And then you go and they give you routes and, that's how you make the money. And you basically, you hire, drivers to do the routes and stuff like that. So that's what I've been working on, like outside of music, if you will. But it's a good opportunity nonetheless. If I can do some business with Amazon, I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things that I've been working on outside of the music. And yeah,
Now that opportunity sounds amazing. I'm like, man, I need to get on that and be an early investor before this is gonna be the next Uber.
Exactly, and it's coming.
It is coming
For its first. Yeah. When I first looked at Amazon stock, when I was thinking about it, the stock was like $1,500, right? And this was in the span of like a couple months. If you look at Amazon stock today, it's probably like $3,500 for one
share.
Stock, one share, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. During COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID, they've just been, just killing it. So to be, in cahoots, or in a partnership or a venture with them, I think is super dope. So that's what I've been working on outside of music.
Can you explain to the audience the difficulty in putting out an album? I had a chance to interview Casey Wembley, another Chicagoan. He lives in Indianapolis now. He ended up recently moving. But he talks about how expensive it is. He talks about the difference between, leasing a beat and actually owning it, right? Like, and the process that goes behind it. Can you just put the audience in the mindset, like what it really takes to put out a project?
Man, a lot of money. That's one. Man, it's so much. A great team. I probably should have said that first. You know what I'm saying? Like the greatest people in the world, man. Like I don't care if it is your Kanye's, your Jay-Z's, you know what I'm saying? Your your Whitney Houston's, rest her soul, and just
Mhm.
all the Michael Jacksons and all these tremendously talented people, they still had great teams because it's only so much that tremendously talented person can do just by being one person. You know what I'm saying? If I'm tremendously talented, but I only have myself, I can only reach this amount of people. But if I'm this extremely talented person with Cody, who has a wingspan of about 50 people, then I got this person over here with a wingspan of 50 people, and that
Mhm.
person. So I got 10 legit people with 50 people. Now it's boom. You know what I'm saying? So I think the team definitely. Dedication, you know what I'm saying? Because you still got life going on. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people do this to express, to make money and stuff like that. But a lot of people have lives outside of music. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a parent. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have children. A lot of people have, second, third jobs or other businesses to tend to. So the dedication has to be there. You know what I'm saying? Something's going to have to be put on the back burner, or a sacrifice is going to have to be made, to do that. Another thing I think is authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Giving people your true authentic self, because it translates. People, the consumers, they're smart. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You put that music out, they're gonna eat it up and digest it and let you know how they feel and stuff like that. Another thing is getting out your own way. And when I
Mhm.
say that, I say that to say, you know, get in there, make your music, give it all you got, and when you know you've done that, get out your way. Because this is what's so interesting, Cody. I learned about 4 or 5 years ago that when you make a song or a project, once once you put that project out, technically it's not yours anymore. Now it's funny that it's still your baby. You nursed it and you fed it and you boom, you got it ready for the world. You uploaded it into these places and boom, you released
Mhm.
it. But the first thing someone says when they hear a song that they love, they say, "Oh, that's my,
Right.
that's my song."
Right.
Or that's my, and you looking like, "Nah, that's my song."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, you thought it was your song. But in actuality, when you put that song out there and people love it, now that's
Yeah.
their song. You know what I'm saying? So I think we as artists have to get out our way a little bit and let the people enjoy that and have discussions and stuff about the music and the way it makes them feel, and how it made them feel and what type of tough times the music got them through or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So those
Mhm.
are a little bit of, it's a lot of stuff that goes into that big gumbo pot of making an album. But I think I named about 4 or 5 things. Those things are concrete. Your team,
Mhm.
your dedication, getting out your own way, staying true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think those things are kind of like the nuts and bolts. And I did mention the money behind it. I think those are the nuts and bolts
Mhm.
of getting a good project out there.
No, I totally agree. Look, people don't realize it takes dedication, takes a lot of ups and downs. You'll
Yes,
you'll
sir.
you'll put out something that is hot, and you're like, man. And then you put out something that just doesn't stick, and then you put out something
Yeah.
that you're like, man, I know this is not gonna work. And then it's
Yeah.
like it just explodes, and it's like,
Exactly.
like what
Exactly.
is going on?
Exactly.
You can't gauge it.
Yep.
Our audience has
You
a
can't
question.
gauge it. You
You're right.
can't gauge it.
Can't
You
gauge it.
can't. And that's the thing. That's why I say you got to get out your own way.
It's
It's
true.
so many people in the world. You don't know who's gonna like what.
Right.
This is something you could have just, oh man, ooh. But that song blow you up. And
Mhm.
you sitting back thinking like, ooh, I wasn't even gonna release that song. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta kind of just, make that project, stand on it 10 toes, give it all you got, give it to the world, and see where you go from there.
Cool. Our audience has a question. The attorney Elliot Powell, who's been chiming in, says, "Have you ever considered writing music for not future, but feature films?" I can't read today. I don't know what's going on, or television projects. So if somebody approaches you, say like The Shy, right, and they want you to redo their song, or say Power, they want to change it up. They don't want This Is a Big Rich Town. Would you do it?
I'm gonna say yeah, because it's The Shy, you know what I'm saying, Chicago. But as long as it fits within the guidelines of my music or my brand and stuff like that, of course, you know what I'm saying. As long as I ain't got to get up there and do no clown stuff, then of course, you know what I'm saying. I ain't doing all the clown stuff, but of course, and that's actually it's the industry term would be music licensing. Trying to get into that, you know what I'm saying? And it just comes with, networking with the right people, actually finding out who are the producers of these shows, and you know what I'm saying, who's the head of this and that. So, I would love to, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted, like, the fame is not really what I'm after. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be remembered for my, just my cool sound and the motivation and the lyrical content of my music. Or at least that's what I'm trying to be remembered by. Fame is a tricky thing, man, and I know it comes along with the game, but that's not really what I'm after. So I want to be that artist who, I'm known, but I'm not known to the point where I can't go outside and just have a good time with my family and, be with people I love, and it's just pandemonium everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it does get that way, then, I can adapt, but that's not really what I'm shooting for. I want to be that guy, normal, regular, degular, just a gifted man. And your favorite Transformers movie just went off and my song is playing, and in the credits you see my name. I just got a $2 million check for that with $200,000 residuals for the rest
No, that's
of my life. So,
yeah.
But to answer Mr. Elliott's question, actually that's Pops, man. That's what I call him. I know him as Pops, because he's been a great friend of the family for so many years. Even before I was born, he was a friend of my grandmother's and my father's, and he always, helped out in the family. So I call him Pops. But to answer your question, Pops, yes, of course. It's in the pipeline, actually. So yeah.
Is there, you talked about there's things you won't do. I had have you I interviewed China Sade, rising Chicago artist, really good, right? And she talked about sometimes the industry pressure, right? Like if Sony or whoever comes to you and was like, look, we need a Meg Thee Stallion remix of a remix, right? Featuring you, right? And they start talking 7-8 figures.
Wait, Cody, I didn't hear you. It kind of clicked off.
If they wanted to do I'm a Stallion remix featuring Shaffer, and would, even though that's not necessarily something you've done, right? But obviously, I think we're all human, and you start looking at those numbers, and you're like, if we can stay within a certain parameter, I might.
I mean, hey man, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
If all I have to do is write and do what I do, then yeah. But the whole, dyeing your hair.
I get you trying to just take you,
the purses and the dresses. It's like, nah, man. I grind it out, till I leave this place. You know what I'm saying? Not no knock to anybody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? To each his own. People got to get their bread, and it's a different world. But as far as for me and what I see, if I can just keep it music, and music business, what I'm saying, that's cool. But when it starts getting, super demonic and all that stuff, I'm cool.
I get you on that. I get you on that. That integrity is needed. Let's do this. Let's do a game called list, top 5, right? Now let's go with, we'll start here locally. Let's go with top 5 Chicago artists. It doesn't have to be any particular genre. And let's hear your 5 and let's hear my 5.
Cody, that's tough, man. That's tough. Top 5 Chicago artists. Does no particular order, just name?
No particular order. Yep.
No particular order. Whoa, man. Jesus. Let me see. So I'm gonna have to go with Twista.
Okay.
The first time I actually really heard hip hop, it was Twista. You know what I'm saying? And he blew me away with, just the fast rap and how he can get all of his words out. And if you really let him, it just wasn't no mumbo jumbo. So Twista.
Right. Yep.
Let me see. That's tough. A new artist that I love, Joel Q.
Okay.
I don't know if you up on Joel Q, but he's a Chi-Town artist, man. He has a brand called NSG, Never Stop Grinding. He's super dope. Penmanship is elite. And I like his vibe and what he talks about and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give a spot to Joel. I feel like I got to get something to the ladies. Jeez, who would I say? Tink is a great artist.
Yeah, she is.
Tink is a great artist. So I'm going to show some love to the ladies with some Tink. Let me see who else. I'm gonna reach back a little bit again.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I was finna do a Crucial Conflict, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
You can do Crucial Conflict. They can get honorable.
Yeah, man. But no, not Crucial Conflict, but Do or Die.
Okay.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with Twista. So, who else, man? Lupe Fiasco.
He is from here.
I gotta go with Lupe. You know what I'm saying? Lupe is just a man in his own lane, his own world. Another elite penmanship artist. And I'm gonna say Ye just because
it's Ye.
It's Ye.
Yankee making it hard on himself, but
he always make it hard, man. But you can't deny, his genius level talent, man. I think that brother is very, very talented, and you can't take that away from him, man. When I'm listening to music, I try not to get too into the scuttlebutt because I know the way the machine works with the media and how stuff gets put out and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I'm gonna go with Ye because College Dropout was
it's classic,
phenomenal.
It's iconic. It's iconic.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
This is my 5. So my number 1, I'm gonna go with Cynthia Nunn. Gospel, because the song she's written from Cosmopolitan to Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, I think Cynthia Nunn is the most underrated gospel singer. I mean, she is absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna go with Cynthia Nunn. Number 2, I'm going with Chance the Rapper. And maybe it's a little biased. I just like Chance. I think Chance is just amazing and whatever he puts out. I need him to put out a full album though, because he's been put out these little, like 65th Ingleside. Even though the last one was good. I like the project. You know what I'm saying? I want more Chance. So Chance. Gotcha. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Ye because, like you said, College Dropout. I think you just can't debate against it. It is an all-time classic. I'm agree with you. Number 4, Lupe Fiasco. But for the ladies, my number 5 pick, I'm gonna have to go with the Brat. And the reason why I'm going with the Brat,
I didn't go with the Brat.
And the reason why I'm going with the Brat and not Tink is not because I don't like Tink.
Of course,
is because if you think about the last 20 years, right? Like there's no other, to me, female artist in Chicago that has been iconic on every level. I mean, she had bars when we didn't know what bars were. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
the Brat, I just for whatever reason doesn't get the respect that she deserves.
And
but
I don't know. I can't figure out why. I don't know if it's just but I can't say it's because the times.
I think with the Brat, it's I think a lot of it's marketing. She was, to me, she should have been paired with like a Missy.
But
right?
they were.
For a little bit, but like if you think of it like you think of it like a Debrat song, you know, what do you like? You know, it always comes to your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like
or Funktified.
Right. But it's like they need to just make like Debrat just heat. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think any label has ever really gotten fully behind Debrat like they should have really put. So I got one more. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time being on here. So, you know, COVID has been the ultimate disruptor, right? You mentioned it earlier how it's impacted you. You know, we're still in it. You know, people think that we're out of it because we have COVID fatigue, but it is very real. It is ramping up as we speak. What does that do for, you know, the music industry? I had the evangelist Chrisanne Moore on last night, and she said it has been a blessing toward independent artists because it gives them basically a platform because people are at home and they have time to listen and you really can drive it yourself, right? Would you agree? Has this unfortunate despair been beneficial towards you because basically it allows you to get into the driver's seat and not have as many distractions out there?
That's a good question. Before I answer that, I just want to let the people know, Cynthia Nunn, I went to go get you. I'm listening ASAP tonight. Cody just put me on. I definitely heard of the name before, but I've never really dove into it. But I'm just one of those people, Cody, that I feel like nothing's gonna stop me. So I think like I just adapted. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate to be insensitive and say, well, COVID's not real and yada yada yada. But I think my faith in my creator is so to a place to where it's like, okay, I know that that's going on out there, but I'm not gonna live my life in fear. I'm not gonna let this thing control me. So that's my mind state. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say, I just look at it as duality. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just made me have to adapt. It made me have to do something different. And I think, you know, that's what it's done to not only the music industry, but you know, a lot to where, you know, you got this thing that you can't go through it, you can't go around it, you have to face it head on. So I think it's either made people or broke people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of how I feel about, you know, the whole COVID thing and stuff like that. But I won't say I've fitted from it's kind of like 50-50, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because it does give me a chance to see, you know, what the top players are doing and everything. It's like nobody can do any shows really right now. Nobody's really traveling and stuff like that. So it does give you a chance to sit back and say, let me go check and see what such and such is doing. Or let me see what they're doing. So you can get ideas, some stuff like that. But I think what I love about it, it's forced me to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's all challenging things to do. You know what I'm saying? You're either going to let it, you know, just break you down, or you're going to let it, you know, grow you and make you uncomfortable and show you some things that you wouldn't see if, you know, stuff like COVID didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's kind of like a, you know, bring it on type of thing. Like I want to say safe, I'm washing my hands and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I'm ready for it, and like-minded individuals such as yourself are ready for it, and, you know, not really letting it affect our mentality. You know what I'm saying? We still gotta pay these bills. You know, COVID's happening, but those those bill collectors still like, hey,
Yeah,
I
I
know
get
we in the pandemic, but so it's like
yeah.
one of those things, you know.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, look, I appreciate you. You've been amazing, amazing guys. Connect with Shaffer Jones. This man is amazing, amazing artist, amazing talent, amazing gift to the human body. Where can they connect with you, man? What are you about to drop?
Everything Shaffer Jones. Everything Shaffer Jones. All social media handles. I also have a website, shafferjones.com, where you can go on there and check out the latest music or the latest merch and get y'all some merch, man. Make sure y'all get y'all some merch. Tap in. I got a lot of varieties of stuff, joggers and crew necks and headbands and socks and all that stuff. So go over to shafferjones.com. You'll get to learn a little bit more about me as an artist and my bio and stuff like that. And you can tap in personally, subscribe, and you'll get sent an unreleased video to the public. It's just like a special little video, especially for the people who subscribe. And that's how I keep up with people, letting them know, my moves and what I got coming up next. ShafferJones.com.
ShafferJones.com. Guys, subscribe, buy the merch, buy the album, download the album, support this brother. Look, I appreciate Shaffer so much. Look, next week's episode is Best Romantic Comedies. We're going to break it down.
Okay.
I am on Team Boomerang. I'm looking forward to this episode as I do all my episodes. I got some interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm building out the November episode list and December. It's going to be a hot one, even though the weather's getting colder here.
It sounds like it.
Always subscribe, YouTube at CV Space K. But until next time, guys, thank you so much.
Peace, Cody. Thank you, bro.